How's it going, team? This is the Brown Man. I hope all is well. It is very early, and I am recording this before I have to go to work. But here we are, guys. So, we have been playing Killer Klowns from Outer Space since Tuesday, and it has been very, very fun. And is it worth the 40 bucks? We're just going to go right into, some of the main stuff. I think it is, but it isn't. It's just really complicated for me. Of course, there's going to be balance issues, but there are some things that they did really well. I do like, obviously, the visual look of the game. When it's not bugging, I think it's fine. But the issue that I have is that I can't really judge all the features because all the features aren't in yet. When it comes to preference queue, there is no preference queue yet. When it comes to having cross-gen, or rather cross-platform friend lobbies, that doesn't exist yet. You can have game lobbies with cross-platform people, yes, but can't have the friend lobby chilling in the menu talking yet. Supposedly, those things are coming June 4th. The issue with this build of the game is that they didn't really make it clear how much they are distancing themselves from the original vision of the game. In the original vision of the game, you had different classes of humans and different classes of clown, and unique abilities associated with each class. That's amazing. That's great. This is a game. This isn't just trying to stay in with the movies, and I'm just thinking about longevity, right? Unique abilities to a class allows for even more customization. Also, there's supposed to be a 4th perk slot for Clown, as said in the preview. Is not here yet. Maybe that comes in June 4th. We'll see. When it comes to Killer Klowns from Outer Space, you have, of course, 5 classes of clown. You have Ranger, which used to be Scout. The Scout used to be able to use the jump ability to anywhere on the map, even if it is covered by the fog. This allowed other clowns to patrol areas a little bit better. Maybe humans are working on an exit that, and you see them, that little red highlight, but you're too far away, and, maybe you didn't really use lackeys or whatever. You just didn't go to that spot. Jumbo was able to actually jump into that spot and open that part of the map for fellow clowns to jump to as well, giving them map present. The tracker supposedly was able to also have the balloon dog target out the weakest human, the human with the lower HP, allowing for easier downs. So you're not just led to a human, with full HP, and you have to have a full fight with somebody with a shotgun and air horn and everything all, stacked up. We had a trapper, of course, who was supposed to be able to lay traps. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. Even if they do somehow add traps, it's not going to be unique to the trapper. So I was like, why play the trapper? Yeah, why play trapper? That wouldn't really make sense, right? It's like, why? I'll play trapper over, I don't know, anyone, dude. Like, why do it? Over the tracker. Right? Why? Or especially when you unlock Rudy with moving so fast, why would you? I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. The trapper is supposed to uniquely be the one to lay traps, hence why he's called the trapper. So even if they somehow add it, everyone being able to play traps is like, why? Right? That's why. The tank. Chubby was supposed to be the beefy, tanky boy who could put on like this over armor, allow himself to take some more hits, and then of course that would help him stay on objectives and eat bullets and certain things for the other clowns. And then of course he was able to do like this slam that would slow other people down around him, because you know he's relatively slow, but it would give him some utility to help out other clowns. It'd be quite unique in that way. Also being able to supposedly charge into buildings. Maybe he's supposed to be able to break some of those vaults so they can't DBD loop you to death, right? Maybe eventually throughout the course of the match, after enough slams, there'll be like lack of safety areas because of that. That was supposed to be really cool. And then of course we have the brawler. And the thing is that once you unlock brawler, is like, why would you? Because you can put every weapon on every clown, why wouldn't you eventually just put the best weapons on the best clown, right? Losing their unique abilities made no sense, because if you played Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed, they have all these different classes of spirits. And in those unique classes, in those classes, you can actually choose different variants. So each class had their unique moves, and then each variant had their unique moves, which is really fucking cool. So I don't know why they made it just so plain in this game. This is a video game, and part of the personality is unique skill sets. That adds a lot. Not just ha ha ha, look, this clown has a unique laugh, wow, or this clown has a really dopey running animation. It's also, it's a video game, and you need to feel that uniqueness. And for some people saying, well, that would lead to metas, I'm like, it's way worse if all clowns can do the same things, but some has better stats. Why the fuck would you pick Chubby? Like, after you play for a while, it's like, why would you pick Chubby, who's this fat motherfucker that just can't really run well? And then like, well, he can run with cocoons and throw cocoons further. Or you could pick Shorty, throw cocoons, and you run faster anyway. So it mitigates and doesn't really matter, because you... Now, the only thing that I would say is for throwing cocoons is if Chubby, for some reason, isn't actually hooking up the cocoons, and he's throwing cocoons across the goddamn map for someone else, right? But then at the same time, that's two people working on cocoons instead of one doing cocoons and the other one looking and pressuring a human. So it's just, it blows my mind. The lack of uniqueness coming off of Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed, you know, another Ilphonic game. I'm not too sure why they scrapped TerraVision's original stuff. Even something very, we'll say, should be easy to put into the game, Jumbo being able to jump to places where the fog is covered. I'm not quite sure where. And it still hints at some of their original roles, right? Carve out the jump fog of war and search the map. How can you carve out the jump fog of war with those stats? That doesn't make sense. It made sense when you had a unique ability to enter the fog. Look at that stamina. Look at that movement speed. Stamina, because you cannot jump in the fog anymore, stamina and movement speed is better for opening out the fog of war, because you can traverse the map faster and unlock jumps faster. So I was like, okay, let's take a look at this. Okay. Tracker can do it. Roughly the same, just because of the the mix up there. Trapper can do it. Look at that. Look at that. Trapper got a bit more speed. Trapper can do it better. Oh, wait a minute. Brawler can do it. So everybody can carve out the fog of war better than... Not everybody, but several dudes can do it just as well, if not better, than Jumbo. So why the fuck would you pick Jumbo, right? tank is fucking slow. Like, outside of certain very niche things, why the hell would you pick tank? Like, maybe if you had lure and certain, it's just, that's going to be my section there. Is that it removes any reason to not pick at a certain point brawler and even though Trapper can't fucking lay traps, his stamina and movement is up there. Now I've heard that some of this stuff is still not completely accurate. If that is true, unfortunate, I didn't test every single thing in movement speed, so I'm not quite sure. I'll have to test for that as well. As I said, guys, I feel like we are playing the beta right now, and if we are playing the beta with this pre-order, why didn't we play this sooner to allow for more time for balanced feedback? Once again, I really do think this game is fun. I'll be streaming it tonight, but there's just like these memories, these scars of what could have been and what should have been when they first introduced these amazing clown characters to us. And then same thing, let's say we go into humans, guys. Let's say we go into humans here. And then you have all these little things, and it's like, okay, they renamed, why do they rename it? And it seems like almost like a selfish dickhead thing to do, is rename things just because, you know, you want to put your stamp on it. It almost seems like, oh, fine, I want to do it to put this stamp on it. Over TerraVision. That's almost seems like what it was. I'm not saying that it is, but it just seems weird to literally take out arguably some of the best features in a video game. In an RPG, classes typically don't just have unique stats. They have unique abilities to complement those stats. For example, you're not going to see an assassin do really well with a whole bunch of black magic. It's not going to be, because now you have this black mage somehow doing well with all these using all these spells, and then you can't catch this motherfucker, right? It doesn't make sense. Well, you don't have a knight with their really beefy stats doing a whole bunch of quick assassin shit, and now it's like, wait a minute, you can't kill this motherfucker because he's so thick, but this motherfucker is also using these really fast fucking skills, right? You typically don't see some of that in gaming. Typically, those two go together. You just like, once again, in Ghostbusters, they had that. You'd have unique stats and unique moves together in covalence. You don't just have one and then everybody share it, because you're gonna have everybody just pick, okay, who has the best stats? Okay, let's put the best guns. Actually, let's go back and talk about those goddamn fucking guns. All right, you have, of course, what is that? You have the bounce caster. The bounce caster, holy shit, a very oppressive gun. And once again, I'm speaking as someone who unlocked these weapons, and I can see the potential. And I talked about a lot of stuff on the Discord, in the official Discord of Killer Klowns from Outer Space. A lot of the stuff came true, in terms of balancing and what you can do. And one of my favorite weapons, of course, is going to be the Gobstopper Flail. It provides tracking when you hit with a fully charged shot. It is a beautifully designed, strong weapon in this game, because you are rewarded with hitting a not so easy to hit charge shot. You get tracking, and you get some pushback. So if people are meleeing you, you do get some room to push them back, and then you can use the regular attacks to kind of get that extra chip on them. So it gives you a little bit of it's great. When it comes to the popcorn bazooka, that shit is pretty unbalanced. It can hit over stuff, through stuff, because it's not melee, so it kind of skims stuff. It has very high disrupt because it has a very high range, very easy to hit. Even at the furthest of range, if you get hit, I think, or near furthest, if you get hit, you get tracking. So it has all these benefits, and it has an immense amount of damage. So it's like, so people say stuff like bazooka, but it doesn't really. It's a popcorn shotgun with a shit ton of range. People say bazooka And typically when you think about bazooka, you think about Call of Duty, you think about like a single lob coming out, typically, right? A single lob. But it's a spray, so it's a shotgun. They do need to actually rename that motherfucker. It's a long distance shotgun. Okay, it's not it's not simply this singular projectile, and it has a spread, and that allows for some crazy just crazy shit. And of course, you have to reload. You have to do the 3 clicks, click, 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 pop, right? But the issue, as I said, is that it's very easy to hit, and it has all these upsides. It has very, very, very little downside. And then, especially if you put it on someone like Shorty, and if you are a little bit mindful, it eliminates Shorty's weakness. Shorty's weakness is that he's supposed to be a brawler. Cool, but that's supposed to come with high risk, high reward, right? You're supposed to go in for the melee, and then... Okay, well, if you get outplayed, you die. The popcorn bazooka doing pretty much the same damage on every clown, unless I'm wrong, for some reason. No, it could be. You can stay at a distance, but then you also want the faster clowns, so you can constantly stay behind them, pestering them, revealing their location, blah blah blah. So I feel like, once again, right now, not everyone has these clowns unlocked. But once you start seeing triple shorties, or even people figure it out, triple Rudy, with popcorn cannons, popcorn bazookas, and bounce casters, is going to be ridiculous. It's going to be quite the ridiculous shit here. And not only that, but we're also going to go into that's a very early unlock, dude. That's the first shit you unlock. What was that, level 15? And it has way more benefits than all this shit. Melee weapons in this game don't really have a place. I think melee weapons typically should have a decent amount of damage and be very quick to down people. But of course, the downside is that you have to actually catch up to the guy. And the issue is that they removed classes. They removed some of the ways that clowns can cut people off. Jumbo was supposed to be able to switch bodies with a lackey. Chubby had the ability to slam and slow people down around him, right? So they got rid of these unique ways to catch up to people, making these melee weapons. And that's once again another side effect of getting rid of those unique features, is certain really cool combos you could do, you can't. So now I was like, why not run the popcorn shit? I run the Gobstopper flail, but it's like, why not? Now I understand that there is a place. The popcorn gun needs nerf, maybe longer cooldown, whatever, reduce range. We'll see how that goes. But it's like, I do get it. I'm not saying it's not supposed to be in the game. Right now it's just a bit too strong, and it's better if it is limited to one class, right? Because it'll provide tracking, and something that provides a certain amount of utility should be pulled back for damage. So that's typically how it works in these games too. It's high utility or high damage, not high everything and is good in everything and does everything well and can be put on everybody. That just doesn't really work out that way. That would be, I said, it seems like this is a bit long. I get it, but that's one of my things there. When it gets to humans as well, lack of customization. Maybe more will come in. Hey, I'm not the the most creative guy. You know, hey, I call a dog Blackie. I'll call my squirrel nigga. I am not the most creative motherfucker of motherfuckers. But when it comes to these games, you know, it's like, if the stats are to be true, and there's nothing really unique about these classes, why would you pick anything other than athletic or heroic? Why? Look at that shit. Stamina helps you get rid of clowns. Stamina and movement helps you find things a lot faster. Increase your survival odds dramatically. Look at that. Strength and stamina. Good to fight. Good to run. A belly. Look at this shit. Surviving a clown invasion is second nature when you're constantly held down by the system. throwing things and stabbing clowns is the perfect outlet for any punk. How? I'm confused. Do you get a bonus for using knives? I'm not too sure. How does that? Once again, having all they still have the weird skeletal structure of the original vision. And that's why it says, like, fun-wise, this game is like 8 out of 10. But like constantly seeing the skeleton of the game that should have been is making it a bit more of a 5 or 6 out of 10. It's just it's unfortunate. But as I said, I'm still gonna have fun with this game. Till the wheels fall off. I like being that guy to protect the team. I like being that guy to keep people safe. I like scrapping. I like talking shit. I like the friendly vibe. I get it. And there needs to be something in place of Friday. But we'll see how this goes. And that is my honest... I said it seems like a whole lot of bitching. I do get it. But when you actually understand the original vision of this game, and then you see how much of it was just gutted, it's very hard. It's just very difficult. But I'm still looking forward to the stuff, and I will be playing with my meeps and having a shit ton of fun, of course, because it's always a good time when you're with friends. You guys be safe, stay hydrated, and of course, have a good one.